You have to sing. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Good morning guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's John, welcome to Barely Russian. Today we're doing a little bit of a flashback. We're going back to our time in Switzerland. Switzerland was the first country we went to after we left Australia in the time that we were stuck between Australia and Russia. And Switzerland's a bit of a special country for us. Our eldest daughter, her husband is from Switzerland, so we've been to Switzerland a few times now. And it's a country that we really love, we enjoy it. It's a beautiful place and we've got some amazing friends there, and so it was really nice for us to be able to go there, to catch up with them and to see a little bit more of the amazing country that Switzerland is. It's just such a picture perfect country, and everywhere you turn there are amazing things to see. So we've gone through all our footage and we've decided, well, we want to show you a little bit of what our time was like there. If you like what you see on the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you give us a big thumbs up, and it really helps the channel, supports the channel, and enjoy coming along with us. So while we're staying with our friends, their local orchestra in the area, due to the COVID restrictions, wasn't allowed to play in their normal place. So what they would do is they would find open area places and they would set up and they would practice, and people would come and watch and just enjoy a little like outdoor concert. And that was a really special time because people would catch up with neighbors and friends, be able to listen to the music and just enjoy them playing and practicing. It was really special. You could hear the music all throughout the different neighborhoods where they were playing. It was really nice. So while we're in Switzerland, we would just do lots of day trips in a car out exploring different parts of Switzerland near where we were staying. I mean, Switzerland's not a big country and there's just so many different things to see as you drive around. And there's lots of really touristy areas where people are familiar with and people have seen on pictures and postcards. There's so many other parts of Switzerland which you can just drive around and enjoy, just driving through the towns and the villages, and there's just so much character, and the scenery is just pretty much breathtaking wherever you look as you travel around throughout Switzerland. So for us it was really nice just to jump in the car and to drive around. There's so many nice places for picnics and just to stop with lovely facilities and have a cuppa or a little snack and just really enjoy the beauty that's all around you. It's just amazing. We really love the mountains, so for us this is Switzerland's got so many mountains and valleys and ravines and beautiful lakes. It's a really, really special, beautiful place to drive around and enjoy. It's really nice as you drive around. It's one thing to go and look at all the really touristy spots, but to actually just drive around and see how people live in everyday life and to see what life is like for people. And that's one thing that we love to do as we travel. It's not so much go to the really touristy places, but to see see how everybody lives. And Switzerland's one of those countries that just, it's just so beautiful to drive around, and between each of the villages or the areas, there's lots of little pockets of forest, or there'll be a little river, and so many really quaint, what we call typical Swiss houses. I remember talking to one of my Swiss friends once, and I said, when we come, we want to see parts of Switzerland that look like, the postcards. And he said to me, John, everything looks like the postcards in Switzerland. And, the houses with the plant box and all the flowers out the front. There's lots of them as you travel around Switzerland, and it's just a beautiful country to drive around. It's a beautiful lot of I was amazed how much agriculture there is in Switzerland, and you know, so much they produce so much amazing food. And you know, you can be from the middle of Zurich out to an agricultural area in just such a short amount of time, and there's just cows everywhere and farms and little villages and beautiful old buildings, and just a really, really pretty place to travel around and enjoy. We love it, and it's a really special place for us. So this is a little town called Flims. We'd gone up to meet with our friends and to spend a day and have a picnic up there in some of the nice spots. And it's a beautiful little town. It's a sort of a ski resort town where there's lots of ski lifts and places you can ski and do winter sports. But as we arrived there was these hot air balloons that had come in and were doing a flight for the day, and it was just really beautiful to see them just slowly drifting up the valley, and it was a really nice, very picturesque time as we just watched them just float through the valley below the clouds. It was really special. There was about 15 balloons that were out flying that day, and they were just drifting up the valley and following basically the incline of the mountain up. They weren't really high in the air, but just high enough to float over the top of the mountains and to make the most of the view, and to see just the beauty of the mountains and the valleys in that region. One of the little towns that we stopped in, had some lunch, and we had some bread there, and all these little birds, and they were just around there, and so I just got some of the bread and was just feeding the birds. It was really nice. They were really tame, and they just eat out of your hands. It was lovely. On one of the longer road trips that we did, we're just coming through this town in the middle of the mountains, and there was this big fair going on, and basically what they do is that at the end of the season, when the cows have come down, they put all the cows out on display, and it's a real celebration of just their way of life, you know, the cows and the milk and the farming. And a lot of them were dressed in traditional Swiss clothing, and there was Swiss music in the background. It was a really, really special treat for us to come there and just to see how it was. It was a little bit rainy, but that didn't bother the people. They were very happy to keep going on, and there was big pavilion with free food, and it was a really nice day. You can see in the background these big cowbells, and they had massive displays of these cowbells all around in different places. And what it is with these bells is each farm sort of has one of these bells, and as they move in summertime, they take their cows up into the mountains, and then winter they bring them down, and their main cow will wear one of these bells as it travels along. While we're there, and we got quite a bit of rain, and our car actually got stuck because we were just parked in a paddock or in a field right next to where the market was, or the fair was, and we got stuck. But the local guys who were sort of directing the parking, they quickly hooked up their car and pulled us out. Very helpful, really nice, really friendly people. You know, I talked about as you drive around all throughout the area, you know, there's just so many spots where you have a little picnic, and the cows will be close by. They're all held in by electric fences, and they're just really friendly, and sometimes I'll come up and you can even give them a little pat. This guy wasn't too interested in my little morsel. He has so much nice grass in his paddock. He wasn't interested in the grass that I had. But Really nice. These are some of the bulls that you see when you drive around, and they're really nice animals and very impressive animals. They've got their big bells on, and it's really nice. And they're pretty friendly, pretty curious. Some of the local hay art you'll see as you drive around, really cute. As you drive around Switzerland, they've got some amazing infrastructure, and obviously you can drive on cars, and what we're doing here is we're just loading the car onto a train, because you can either go through the Alpine Pass, where you go through over the top of the mountains, and sometimes they're closed due to snow or whatever else, so they'll have these trains that you can load your cars onto, and they'll actually got tunnels that they actually run through the mountains, and it's a little bit of a shorter trip to go through. And it was really nice just to load the car on the train, and you can just sit in your car and take the whole journey and enjoy the view. It's a really special. We hadn't done anything like this before, so it was really nice just to experience it and to see what it was like. A little bit like an amusement ride, but without the ups and downs. On the train over the pass. All very interesting. Oh, sorry, I'm filming as well. It's just a train. Have a little picnic while we're on the train. Swiss picnic with bread, cheese, and some salami, and some sun-dried tomatoes. Switzerland's got an amazing train system. As you travel around, the trains just go into so many different places, and it's a really well maintained, well cared for. The trains are super clean and really nice and on time, and it's amazing to see where they've built these train tracks in and through the mountains, up and into all through the valleys. It's incredible. We'd stopped in to look at a river down in the ravine down here, and this little town had no more than maybe 4 or 5 houses, but there was a railway line, and there was a train came in that stopped at the railway line. So, you know, no matter how sort of remote you live in Switzerland, there's a train, and it's really nice. It creates a really nice atmosphere as the train comes in, and it's very special. And obviously these trains service a lot of the different towns that live all throughout the mountains. Really nice for the people. Along with the trains, obviously they have a bus service, and the buses go all over the place, and you can hear that little horn goes off as it goes around these tight bends. And this is one of the older style ones that they keep going. They've got big double-decker buses with, you know, all the windows at the top, so you can look around as you drive. But quite an amazing public transport system they have in Switzerland, between the trains and the buses and the ferries and even the cable cars that go up into the mountains, and they're all interconnected, and you can pretty much get anywhere you need to go in Switzerland on public transport. It's an amazing system, and it's super efficient and a really nice way. The first time we actually went to Switzerland, we traveled around only on the public transport system, and it worked really, really well. Driving around, there was just so many wonderful facilities where we could just stop and, you know, cook something and have a picnic together and enjoy different spots. We had all our picnic gear, and it was just really nice to travel around and enjoy. We did a little bit of car camping, and just a wonderful time. Amazing way to take in these incredible views that Switzerland has to offer all over the place, just every single day. It's amazing. And in between all these towns, there's little scenes like this where you'll run into some cows and they're just heading back to the barn at the end of the day to get milked. Really nice. I was able to borrow a friend's bike and go out on a motorcycle tour around the district, and we went through 7 lakes in, I think, 7 hours. And it was amazing going through the alpine passes and then down into the down to the lakes again. Really nice. And Switzerland's a really nice country to ride a motorbike. It's obviously very scenic, and the roads are windy and bendy. It's really nice. We had a nice time, you know, some gravel roads through the forest, or we'd, you know, head down into the towns and be able to look at the beautiful lakes. Really nice. Really hope you enjoyed our time in Switzerland. It was a really special time for us, and it was the beginning of our long journey to get to Russia. If you liked it, please consider give us a thumbs up, give us a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoy it. If you want to follow our journey, and click the notification bell, and then you'll be notified if whenever we drop a new video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.